Okay, so let's just move you guys here. Okay. So present simple, let's start off with present simple. So present simple, as its name implies, is very simple. It's used to talk about things that are always true, so facts. It's used to talk about situations that we consider permanent. So we often use it to talk about things related to our job, where we live, who we're married to, things that we don't think are going to change anytime soon. Okay. And we also use it to talk about habits and routines. Okay. So things that you regularly do on a weekly basis, or monthly or yearly basis. So those are the main uses of present simple, but it's also important to remember that we use present simple to talk about other things. Okay, so we can use the present simple quite often when we're describing the story of a book or a movie. Okay, so even if you watched this movie last week or you read the book last year, we actually use the present simple to talk about the story because it sounds more alive than if we use the past. Okay, so, the main character is called blah, blah, blah. He has a job interview and then he goes to this and he meets this woman and falls in love. So we actually use the present simple to describe the story. Okay, and we can actually use it to talk about future events. Okay, but, and here's the big but, it's very specific future events. So essentially, we only use them for future events that are part of a timetable. Okay, so things like your class times are part of a timetable, your train, your flight times, these have all been put somewhere into a specific timetable. So they're very much guaranteed to happen. So we use the present simple. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the uses of the present simple or any queries about what I said? No? Silence means no? Or you all muted yourself and you don't realize? Okay. Okay, so the next part. So keywords. So keywords are very important because they can sometimes help us, decide what tense we need to be using. So with present simple, we often, because we're talking about habits and routines, we often use adverbs of frequency. So always, often, or every Friday, every Monday. Okay. We can also use this tense with words like until, before, or when. Okay. And this is often used, like, for example, when I get home, I will call you. Okay. So the when part is used in present simple. And this is a common mistake that a lot of learners make. They think you have to put it in the future, but it's not. Okay. And we can also use as soon as, but in this case, we're referring to the future. So as soon as I get home, I will let you know. Okay, so really those expressions are just telling you, they're adverbial expressions. They're telling you when you will let the person know or when you will call them. Okay, so you've got the example here. I will call you as soon as I get home. Does anybody have any questions about that one? That one's a little bit more.
Yes, Marianne.
Yes,
Can you
Jan.
please repeat the when part?
Can you speak a little bit loud? I can't hear you very well today.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you please repeat the when part? You said that usually I'm using when I'm describing something in the future, not something that is present.
Yeah. So think of a sentence like, when I arrive to the office, okay, I will send you the report. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the whole context of that sentence is actually in the future, right? Yes. Okay,
right.
but the part of when I arrive to the office, okay, is what we call the adverbial part. So all it's doing is just adding information about when you will do the main action of the sentence, which is send the report to this person. Okay, so the main part of the sentence obviously uses will because it's in the future. I will send you the report. But the adverb part of the sentence is in present. And we can use it with when. We can use it with before. Before I arrive to the office, I will send you the report from my mobile. Or I will not send you the report until I arrive to the office because I haven't got any Wi-Fi. Or as soon as I arrive at the office, I will send you the report. But here, that part of the sentence is basically acting as like an adverb. So it's telling you when the action is going to happen. And in a lot of languages, you change the tense of that adverb into the future or whatever tense it is. In English, we don't. We keep it in the present simple. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, I have one.
Yes.
I was just wondering about arrive to the office. Shouldn't it be arrive at the office?
You can use both. Here,
Okay,
you
but-
could use both. When I arrive at the office, when I arrive to the office, they're both okay in this context. Because arrive can use to and at the office is okay. If you just were saying, where are you, Christiane? Oh, I'm at the office. You wouldn't say I'm to the office.
Okay.
You would need a verb that involves movement. Any other questions? Nope. Okay, so let's move on. So I'll just get rid of that part. Okay, so the next section, present continuous. Okay, so the present continuous, again, we're referring to the present, but we're often talking about things happening at the moment of speaking. Okay, so Eleanor, what are you doing right now? You looked a bit like, no, I'm not doing anything bad.
Yeah, I am listening to the course.
Exactly, yeah, or I'm taking notes or I'm listening. Yeah, okay. It can also be used to refer to temporary situations. So like maybe some of you guys are working at home still. This might be a well, it's been a long temporary situation, but you don't see it being permanent. Maybe at work, you're working on a particular project for the next month or 2 months, or maybe you're working on business in a different city. These are all temporary situations. We also use it to talk about temporary or new habits. So for example, I'm eating a lot healthier now that I cook my own meals because I'm working from home, for example. Or it could be the complete opposite. I'm eating a lot more now because I'm at home right next to the fridge. I don't know what's happened to you guys. You can also talk about situations that are slowly changing. Okay, so this you'll see quite a lot in the news when we're talking about global warming or the price of petrol going up or things like this. You know, we use the present continuous. And we can use it to talk about annoying habits, okay, which I'm sure none of you guys have. But if you know somebody who has an annoying habit, you would use present continuous. So for example, he is always arriving late, or he is always forgetting to turn off. Sorry, I'm always using he, that's bad. She is always forgetting to turn off the lights, for example. When we talk about annoying habits, you'll notice in both examples, I used one word. Did anybody notice?
Always?
Yes, we always use always when we use present continuous to talk about annoying habits. Okay, so it's a particular structure that we'll use. Any questions about present continuous?